called field poles. That's where they fold it up inside of the mother. It takes 24 to 48 hours for the dorsal fin to stiffen up. That's muscle fiber. Tail flukes, dorsal fins, pectoral flippers, those are all muscle fiber. They're not cartilage like they do have it shut. Tail slapping. You saw these ones out in front here doing some tail slaps. That's either get the heck away from me, you're bothering me, or it is a form of communication. Sound travels about 4 to 5 times faster through the water than it does through the air, so they can hear that over long distances and regroup, and that's what they're trying to do. Also, the dolphins' mothers use their tail to discipline the young calves. They smack them with their big tail. But if we did that now, they put us in jail, right?
Not they don't see.
This is a typical coloration that you see with bottlenose dolphins. It's slate gray to the top, darker to the sides, and a little bit lighter. Then they have white to pinkish bellies. That's counter shading. A lot of the animals out in the ocean fish have counter shading. White belly blends in with the sky. Black back blends in with the bottom. So it's a form of camouflage.
Huh? Huh?
Oh, the porpoising motion that dolphins do, you see these guys out front here, they have to breathe air because they're mammals, of course, but it also gets their eye up above the surface. These guys are self-aware animals. They know who they are and they know who we are, so they're checking us out. They have good vision above and below the water, so when you see them coming up and they get their eye up above the surface, they're scanning around the top of the ocean to see what's out there.
Oh.
Bottlenose dolphins have about 100 conical-shaped teeth that they use for grasping food. They'll bring around some dolphins y'all later on, unless you see how sharp their teeth are. Dolphins have been known to attack people. They've also been known to rescue people. Most of the time, dolphins are very docile animals. But you have to remember they're wild animals. When you're out swimming in the water with them, you need to be careful. You wouldn't want to go out in the jungle and pet a bunch of tigers or something. So, same situation. Dolphins, you know, each one of these dolphins has their own personality. They may have Mr. Grumpy, Mr. Happy. They're just like kids. If you've ever swam with a dolphin, you'll know what I'm talking about. A couple of things people usually ask, they see dolphins on the move all the time, do they ever sleep? They do what's called brain shifting. They actually have the ability to shut down one hemisphere of their brain, let the other side run all the body functions, and then they switch back and forth.
Watch the potholes. There's a lot of potholes.
If we could do that at work, wouldn't that be fun? Also, they usually ask about how long dolphins live. If you read the paper around here recently, we're having a big die-off the dolphins along the eastern seaboard here. They've had about 175 dolphins or so that have washed up between the bay in North Carolina here. They think they found out what the cause is. It's called a Morbella virus. It's like measles in humans and distemper in dogs. It usually causes a breakdown of their immune system, and they die of pneumonia or kidney failure or some other problem. Right here where you see the beach run out, this is Cape Henry. You see the two lighthouses sticking up there on the left, the old one in the back, 1792, and the newer one out front in Almost black and white, 1882. That's the functional light for the entrance to Chesapeake Bay. If we keep going straight ahead, that's where we'll run into the bay once we pass Cape Henry there. On the other side of the bay is Cape Charles. If we keep going straight ahead, we'll eventually run right into the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. The point itself is a military base. It's called Fort Story. It's part of the local Expeditionary Force Navy. We're training a lot of special forces groups there now. about 3 miles outside of Ruby Inlet where the boat came in. One of the fishermen hooked up with it for a while, but he got away, but estimated about 15, 16 foot long. Usually don't see it can happen. Throw wives' tail too. If you see dolphins, you don't have to worry about sharks. Sharks feed on the bottom of the fish balls, dolphins on the top. So just because you see dolphins around doesn't mean there's not any sharks around.
Okay.
Usually inshore here, this time of year, we get little small hammerheads and sandbar sharks about 3 foot long. Nothing that's going to carry your weight.
You won't be able to swim no more, but you'll be all right.
Yeah, look off to the left over here. Looks like we moved around on the left.
Yeah, they did.
The dolphins are feeding, they eat about 35 pounds of food a day. That equates to us eating like 25 pounds of steak or something. But if it's a lactating female that's feeding a calf, she can eat up to about 45 pounds of fish a day. So they spend about 50 cents of their time traveling up and down on the beach looking for food. So most of their time is looking for food. Takes a breath, it takes about 1/20th of a second as soon as he gets to the surface to change atmospheric pressure. Actually opens, triggers opening the blowhole. When they take in a breath, they oxygenate their body at about 80 to 90%. When we take a breath, it's about 12%. All that extra oxygen they store in the muscle in the blood system. When they go offshore, all of those dolphins can dive down to about 1,000 feet if they want to. Usually anytime we needed dolphins on this coast, you know, the Navy maintains a marine mammal team. They would call them San Diego and they would send them over here and then they would do whatever operations they wanted them to do. Now we have a boot station down in Kings Bay, Georgia, down at the submarine bases. They use them for in-port security there around the submarines. They use them for assisting divers, using them for locating mines and things like that so they can go down and deactivate them. Just recently on the west coast, they discovered the dolphins came up. The divers, they alerted the divers there was something down there. When they went down there was an old torpedo that was built back in the 1800s or something. There was only about 100 of them made or something. So they were able to recover that old torpedo and put it in the Maritime Museum. They had about 100 pounds of black powder in it.